"Thank you so much," said Catboy, "for helping me to make this wonderful big donut." Peppa Pig's mother, Mama Pig, was so happy that finally she had a satisfied customer at her new home baking school. Suddenly the doorbell rang, and Mama Pig said, "Oh, it must be my next customer. Thank you so much, Catboy." And Spider-Man came in ready for his appointment to make a cake. "Thank you so much," said Catboy as he tried to leave, but Spider-Man blocked his way. And Spider-Man said, "Give me a bite of that donut." And Mama Pig said, "Spider-Man, it doesn't work that way. Catboy made this donut himself. Now run along, Catboy." And Spider-Man looked a little puzzled. "But isn't this a baking school? Don't I get to eat baked goods?" And Mama Pig said, "Spider-Man, get over to the table. You have to make it yourself." Spider-Man still couldn't understand the concept of baking everything himself, and he tried to get past Mama Pig because he saw a lovely cake on the oven, but Mama Pig was able to keep Spider-Man at bay no matter how fast Spider-Man moved. "Wow, she sure is fast for a pig," thought Spider-Man, as he finally gave up and said, "Fine, I'll go ahead and bake myself a big cake." "Now that's the right idea, Spider-Man. And we can't have you baking in your gloves, so go ahead and go get changed into some cooking gloves, okay?" And Spider-Man decided he really wanted to eat, so he ran out of the room to get changed. Spider-Man wasn't quite sure what to make of these blue cooking gloves. He was a little hesitant at first and didn't feel like himself. And he said, "Mama Pig, why can't I cook in my Spider-Man gloves?" And Mama Pig said, "Hey, Spider-Man, we don't want to get your Spidey gloves all dirty now, do we? And we want to have clean hands when we cook. So come on, stop being a baby, and let's start mixing the dough for your cookies and cake." "Okay," said Spider-Man. "It's hands-on from here on out." "Okay," said Mama Pig. "Make sure to knead the dough very thoroughly so that you have a nice, even mixture throughout." Spider-Man didn't quite understand what Mama Pig was talking about, but he did it anyways, and had a beautiful, flat piece of pastry after. "That's really good," said Mama Pig for a first-timer. "Now just make sure to roll them all up into nice, even-sized balls, and that way they'll bake better." "Great. Now let's load them up into the cookie tray, and I can put them in the oven." And Spider-Man said, "But I have so much extra dough here. What are we going to do?" And Mama Pig said, "Don't worry, we're going to make all kinds of cookies and cakes with it. Let's get this first batch started. I'm going to pop it in the oven." And Spider-Man thought, this dough really smells good. And there's a lot of sugar in it and butter. I wonder what it would taste like if I ate it raw. And he opened his mouth, checked over his shoulder to see what Mama Pig was doing, but she was distracted by the oven. So he shoved it in his mouth and thought, this tastes really good. Wow. In fact, I think I like this better than cooked cookies. And he slurped it up and thought, that was amazing. I'm the best chef in the world. And he looked back at Mama Pig, and she was still fiddling around with the oven. And he thought, maybe I can just have one more cookie dough ball. And so he reached over and picked it up. Mama Pig had just opened the oven at this point, and he thought, yeah, just one more. It was so good. Spider-Man thought he was being really sneaky, and that Mama Pig would not even notice that a dough ball was missing. He opened up his mouth again, took one more peek over his shoulder at Mama Pig, and popped the cookie dough ball into his mouth. Wow, this truly is amazing, he thought. How come nobody had ever told him that cookies taste even better before they're cooked? Wow, he was a genius. Nobody had ever figured this out before. He was going to open up a new business. Lots of things were going through Spider-Man's mind at this point, but nothing more important than getting one more cookie dough ball in his mouth. And he went back to the table and smiled and thought, wow, Mama Pig is still busy with the oven. Look at this huge cookie dough ball I've got this time. This one's going to be even better than the last two small ones. He looked over at Mama once again, still busy with the oven, and he smiled and just couldn't wait to eat this giant cookie dough ball. He tried to shove it into his mouth, but it wouldn't fit. But Spider-Man was not going to give up on something this delicious. He opened his mouth even wider and sucked it right in. Wow, amazing again. Now, at this point, Spider-Man was having such a sugar high, he couldn't think straight. All he wanted was more dough balls. But the table was empty, and he had no more. He had eaten them all. Spider-Man began to panic. Well, I need more dough balls. My cookie dough balls. And then he saw it. The master dough ball. A huge mound of uncooked cookie dough, just sitting there, waiting for him to eat. He smiled and approached the huge ball of dough quietly, hoping Mama Pig wouldn't notice. Ever so quietly, he slid the tray over, but his greedy eyes couldn't wait any longer, and he decided to dive headfirst into the big ball of cookie dough. Spider-Man had never been so happy in his entire life. Just then, Mama Pig had closed the oven door and looked over and noticed what was going on. Spider-Man, what are you doing? You can't eat all that raw cookie dough. It has eggs in it, raw eggs in it. You could be very sick. Get out of there this moment. But it was too late. Spider-Man had eaten the entire tray of raw, uncooked cookie dough. Mama Pig was not impressed, but Spider-Man was still quite happy and pleased with himself, and he said he didn't mind that he wasn't going to be able to bake all those cookies because he'd already enjoyed them all. Suddenly, Spider-Man's stomach started grumbling, and he didn't feel so well, and Mama Pig said, "You're going to be sick. Go to the bathroom. You can't be sick in my kitchen. I've got a business to run here." And Spider-Man burped a few times and ran to the toilet. Unbelievable, thought Mama Pig. Spider-Man couldn't understand what was going on. A few minutes ago, he was in pure heaven with the cookie dough, and now everything was spinning. His stomach was gurgling and burgling, and he felt horrible. He located the toilet, and before he knew it, a stream of warm cookie dough was coming out of his mouth. Now, children, I shouldn't have to tell you at this point, eating raw cookie dough or cake dough probably isn't the best idea, even though it tastes really good. Maybe just a little bit. Finally, at long last, Spider-Man felt that most of the cookie dough, along with his blueberry breakfast, had come out of his stomach. So he stood up, turned around, and swore never ever again to eat raw uncooked cookie dough, even though it did taste so good. Uh-oh. There it was again. More cookie dough and blueberries were coming out, and Spider-Man was back on the toilet once again. Wow, thought Spider-Man. That was truly, unbelievably terrible. I'm never eating anything to do with cookies ever again. I'm gonna wash my hands and apologize to Mama Pig. And that's the last time Spider-Man will be doing any kind of baking classes. I'd better just stick to being a superhero. Mama Pig didn't know what to think. So far, her cooking class with Hulk, the cake exploded, and now Spider-Man ate all the cookie dough before it was even cooked. Maybe she wasn't such a great teacher. Or maybe these superheroes were more like her kids. It was a happy day in the Peppa Pig family house as Mama Pig was about to realize her dream of opening up her own home baking school, and she had her first student coming. She was especially nervous because her first student was none other than the Great Hulk. And he bounded into her house and said, "Hello, Mama Pig. I want to make a big cake," as he high-fived Mama Pig. And Mama Pig said, "Okay, well, let's get started," and took the lid off the pot of flour. Hulk said, "Why do we need flowers? Isn't this a cake?" And Mama Pig laughed and said, "You're gonna have to trust me, Hulk, and I'll teach you how to make a cake." So they put some flour on the table, and Mama Pig said, "Okay, Hulk, I want you to flatten this flour nice and smoothly over the table." And Hulk said, "Hulk smash? I can do that." As we all know, Hulk loves to smash things, and he asked Mama Pig to make a really big cake because he was really hungry, and Mama Pig obliged. So she put all the flour on the table, and Hulk started to smash it with his giant green hand. Wow, said Mama Pig, that's way flatter than I had expected. And Hulk said, did I do a good job? I'm very strong, you know. And Mama Pig said, yes, that looks just fine to me. Now let's get it on the table so you can start making your cake. All right, said Mama Pig. Looks like we've almost prepared the dough, so I'm going to fold it up and prepare the base of our cake. And Hulk said, do I get to smash it one more time? And Mama Pig said, no, all the smashing is done. Okay, Hulk, said Mama Pig. I'm going to prepare your cake for you, and then it's going to be up to you to decorate it, and design it, and bake it. And I'm going to go take a break now. So why don't you go ahead and get ready to make your cake by yourself. I'm gonna leave the room now, okay? Don't leave me, said the Hulk. I don't know the first thing about making or baking a cake. You'll be just fine, Hulk, assured Mama Pig. The best way to learn is to make mistakes. And Hulk said, well, okay, fine, but first I need to go to the bathroom. Could you show me where your toilet is? And Mama said, sure, follow me, Hulk. Wow, thought Hulk, what a nice bathroom. It's so clean. I really should have gone to the toilet before I left my house this morning, but when you gotta go, he thought, as he turned around to sit down on the toilet. Hulk really didn't want to use Peppa Pig family's toilet, but because of all the hamburgers he had eaten last night, he really had to go. Hulk thought to himself, I'd better make this quick, so he grunted and groaned and strained. Little did Mama Pig or Hulk know that the Joker was waiting outside for this exact opportunity. His evil plan was to destroy Hulk's very first attempt at making his own cake. The Joker had always believed that no one should have nice things, and especially delicious things, and he was going to make sure that Hulk wasn't able to have a cake. What a perfect fit, thought the Joker, with an evil laugh. The TNT fits perfectly inside this cake. Now I'll just wrap it all up and decorate the cake. And the Hulk, with his short memory, will think that he did it. And Mama Pig won't know either, because she's expecting Hulk to make the cake. Oh, my plan is perfect, he thought. Thought the Joker, this is actually quite relaxing. And I can understand why people would like to make their own cake. It's very calming. But never mind. I have to make sure Hulk and Mama Pig don't catch me. Now, what color to decorate this cake? Let's see, something that Hulk would choose, some sort of ugly colors. Maybe purple and orange. Yeah, that sounds like something the Hulk would do as he grabbed the food coloring. The Joker thought he heard a strange sound coming from the bathroom and thought, I'd better hurry up and finish this. And so he did. He created a magnificent purple and orange cake just for the Hulk. Look at my beautiful cake, thought the Joker. Maybe I should sign up for a class here. I sure would like to get into baking, but that's for another day. I better make my hasty escape now and watch from outside as Hulk's cake blows up in his face. Ha ha ha. Oh no, not again, thought Hulk. I've broken another toilet. Oh, what am I gonna say to Peppa Pig's mom? I'm gonna be in real trouble. Oh dear. And he thought, well, I better go out there and face the music. So he decided to go walk back to the kitchen and explain everything. Hulk walked back into the kitchen feeling really bad, but then he noticed on the table a perfectly well-made cake, and he looked around and thought, who made this cake? Did Mama Pig make this cake? Or did I? How long was I in the toilet for? I really have to do something about my short-term memory. I really can't remember. And then he heard Mama Pig coming back into the kitchen. Oh, Hulk, she said, what a wonderful cake you made. And Hulk realized that it wasn't Mama Pig that made the cake, and maybe it was him. And he said, oh yes, it's a beautiful cake. Mama Pig was so proud of her first student and said, I'll go get a match and let's light the candle. And Hulk said, that sounds like a great idea, and let's have a piece of cake together. Hulk knew he had to be careful using fire, so he approached the cake very cautiously and tried to find just the right angle to light the candle. When he finally had the match high enough, the candle lit up, and he thought, "I did it." And Mama Pig said, "Wow, what a beautiful cake. And it looks like you have one of those sparkly candles." "Oh no, what happened?" gasped Mama Pig. And the Hulk said, "I really made a strong cake, I guess." And Mama Pig said, "I've never ever made a cake that exploded before. My first cooking class is a disaster, and now you're going to tell all your friends, and nobody's going to come to my baking school." "Oh no," she cried. But the Hulk was a little more optimistic and said, "Come on, there's lots of cake everywhere. Let's eat it."